I think I can give an update. I'm actually in the middle of something, doing something to my 1985 again Chevy C10 that I put a diesel engine in. Originally a diesel motor, and I put an OM606 in it, long bed. But like I said, I'm in the middle of something which is I'm going to turn it into a short bed, and I was just about to start cutting the chassis, and I thought, maybe do a video and show a little bit of the detail. The bed is actually inside of my garage. It's already been cut. I cut it. There are the pieces, 6 inches, actually 5 3/4, I believe, from the back. And here is, I'll show the details later of how I did it, but and how I cut this notch and what I did with it. There's the 14 inches that I cut from the front side of the bed, and what I did is I didn't cut the side panels, but instead I went and purchased aftermarket side panels to make the work a little bit easier, because I've never done this before, and especially I'm not a good welder, and I'm not good, or I don't even know how to do the body work on that. So I thought it'd be easier. Of course, the first thing I tried doing was finding a short bed for sale, but those are impossible to find, and they're pretty expensive. So I said, what the hell, I can do this myself. So I'll show you the bed later, but I'm about to start cutting, and as you can see, I've already marked the 14 inches. I decided to go with 14 1/4 inch, is to make this whole work. 1/4 inch isn't gonna make that big of a difference anyway, but I've already marked it, and as you can see, yes, it is a straight vertical cut. It's a straight cut. I'm not going with a recommended Z cut that a lot of people are doing, and I'm not gonna get into that too much, so not to end up with a debate with anybody. But here's how I'm gonna do it. It's a little bit easier in a sense, but the way that I'm approaching it, I'm very, very confident that it's going to be just as strong, or the structural integrity, I think, is going to be maintained, if not even improved. I'm not saying that it's going to be better than the C-cut. There are probably tons of ways of doing this, and this is what I've decided. So what I'm going to do, and I already have, of course I'm going to plate it, but my idea of plating it is I'm going to be using these pieces, and what I'm going to be reinforcing primarily is I don't know if they're called webs. In other words, the top and the bottom. That's where my reinforcements are going to focus. I think that's one of the most important components of a chassis, and where cracks would originate anyway. Most likely, they would originate from the bottom. I mean, there are tons of reasons that a chassis could crack, but that's what I would imagine. In fact, I had a little piece, an extra piece of chassis laying around, and that's where I got my plates. This is a bottom plate. It's going to go something like that. I'll show you the final product once it's welded, and I'm going to be putting another one over here at the top. Okay, that on top of the weld on the outside, that I'll be hopefully grind real nice and smooth for a decent look. And then from these pieces, most likely using those pieces, which is what I cut, by the way, from the rear of the chassis. Yes, it's a terrible cut, but that's where they came from. I ended up cutting 6 inches. I regret it. I wish I would have done more, like 4 inches. But anyway, that's where I'll be using to cut plates for the upper portion. So anyway, I'm very confident with the structural strength or integrity once the whole thing is done. There's no going back. Alright, I think I'm done. So normally I wouldn't show my final work product for a lot of good reasons. I'm not a good welder, and everybody always has an opinion, and anyway, so there you have it. Actually, those welds are fairly nice. I mean, they're okay. There's the plate. There's a plate I did. There's another plate right here at the top. Okay, but I gotta keep that hole. Is for the gas tank, so there's no plate in this area. But there's plenty of reinforcement. Take a look at that. Wow, actually the weld looks pretty horrible, especially in video. But it's not that bad, and I know I still gotta hit some spots, I guess. All right, let's take another look. I sprayed it. Again, I didn't ground the weld flush, but it's because it really wasn't too terrible. I should have done it, I guess, for a cleaner job. But the inside is not very nice. That's already painted. I know it looks a little odd, but it's been painted. Yeah, there you go. I mean, really, I'm happy with it. You know, there you go. And here's the bed. I said I was going to show what I did. You can figure it out really quick. What I did is I purchased the bedsides. Didn't want to cut the old ones because that was going to be a little too much struggle for me, welding and doing body work. I don't know how to do body work, so it was going to get expensive to take it to somebody. So yeah, I chose to buy the side panels. They were $1,100 both. No shipping because I went and picked them up. I did cut the bed though. I cut it on the front, and the weld, the new joint is aligned right with the shadow. So it's a good thing because you cannot see my horrible weld. I'm gonna grind it smooth as good as I can, and but anyway, I removed 14 inches from here, from the front, and then I removed, I believe it was 5 inches and a quarter from the back, and then I just bent the rear edge. I still gotta work it and make it look a little nicer, but of course I removed the spot welds on this beam, and then I relocated it where you see it now. The corners over here, I cut a little notch there. As you can see, I'm still gonna weld this around. The other side, you can see how that came out. Overall, I'm happy with my decision to do it this way, to buy the side panels. I know the quality is not the same as original, but I'm not too disappointed. Things worked out okay. The quality is fair. Definitely not the same gauge or thickness as the original ones, but this turned out to be my best option for me to do it myself. So there you have it. I'll show it. I'm about to put it on the truck as soon as I get some help. and then I'll show how it looks. You can see the new tank already, everything is ready. So I'll put the bed on the truck and I'll show you how it looks. Okay. Short bed. I like it, and I like it a lot, really. You may notice I sanded down the camouflage to blend out a little bit better with the black primer. Anyway, I want to also give a real brief update on something else. You guys, some of you may know that I was running this HE221 turbo. Spools really fast, really good turbo. Makes good boost, but a little bit small, so I wanted to try something bigger. I got this HX Super 30 here, along with that exhaust manifold. You can see my setup there. The downpipe, only had to tweak it a little bit from what I had before. I also got this bigger filter, much needed filter, and I made this intake pipe. I'm gonna reroute this here through the bottom, but with these improvements, I didn't see much. With these changes, I didn't see much of an improvement. And I don't know whether the reason might be that maybe the pump is not really producing a great deal of fuel. I'm going to increase the fuel in the ECU a little bit more, but I doubt that I'll gain a great deal of power. But don't get me wrong, by the way, this truck moves nicely, okay? It moves really, really good. But my plan now is I purchased 7.7 millimeter elements that I put in this pump, and I'm about to take it to a shop for calibration. And when I try, I'll let you know how that goes. That's the plan. Something else that I wanted to also say is that people have been asking me about the fuel economy. I finally got a chance to take it for a long drive and test that, and I calibrated that very, very precisely, and I got 27 miles to the gallon. It's really good. I think it's really good. I had no idea whether it was 12, 20, 35, so I got 27. But I want to do better. I want to somehow figure out and improve that. And my plan for now is to change that boost actuator to a vacuum actuator. I'm seeing about at 75 miles per hour, I'm seeing about 10, 12 PSI, which is a little too much. Which is just extra work for the engine. So by changing to boost actuator, it'll hopefully help. I will let you know how things go when I do that with fuel economy. But for now, just wanted to give that brief update and show you that new short bed. Thanks for watching.